73% of Indian women leave their jobs after giving birth, according to a survey in 2018. जी हाँ, 73% महिलाएं बच्चा होने पर अपनी नौकरियां छोड़ देती हैं और जो नौकरी पर वापस भी लौटती हैं, उनमें से 48% 4 महीने के अंदर नौकरी छोड़ देती हैं। Dear India Inc., this is perhaps the most serious issue facing women in corporates. Maternity break often turns into quitting work altogether. Let's break down this massive issue and talk about the maternity leave itself. Maternity leave की जब बात होती है तो देश विदेश में भारत का एग्जाम्पल दिया जाता है. We are considered as a very progressive nation, for we have 26 weeks of mandatory maternity leave for our women workforce, both in private and public companies, as mandated by the Maternity Benefit Amendment Act of 2017. Now, the amendment was initially welcomed as a pro-women move, but असल जिंदगी में औरतों को इस पॉलिसी का खामियाजा ही भुगतना पड़ रहा है. The maternity benefit law in the country has turned out to be a deterrent for women in corporates. So what happened? Besides giving an extended 26-week paid leave to pregnant women who have worked in an establishment for up to 80 days, the Act also introduced an enabling provision relating to work from home for women, which may be exercised after the expiry of the leave period. Also, it makes creche facility mandatory for every establishment employing 50 or more employees. Women employees would be permitted to visit the creche 4 times during the day. On paper, this sounds fantastic. The problem कहाँ है? सरकार ने मैटरनिटी बिल में अमेंडमेंट जरूर किया, लेकिन ये नहीं सोचा कि इसका कॉस्ट क्या कंपनीज उठा पाएंगी. 2019 में टीमलीज नाम की एक कंपनी ने एक सर्वे में पाया कि 10 से 18 लाख महिलाएं इस बिल के आने के बाद अपनी नौकरी खो सकती हैं. एक दूसरी कंपनी लोकल सर्कल्स ने लगभग 8,500 एसएमईज यानी स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस से बात की, एंड दे फाउंड दैट ऑलमोस्ट 50% ऑफ एसएमईज एंड स्टार्टअप्स इन इंडिया रिपोर्टेड लेस फीमेल हायर्स ओवर द ईयर. Maternity bill was pointed to as a major reason for this reduction in hiring women employees. By putting the entire burden of providing paid leave on the companies, critics say the act is a typical example of putting cart before the horse and gives the companies another reason not to hire women altogether. Na rahega baans, na bajegi bansuri. Let's come to the second biggest criticism of the act. मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट लॉ ये अज्यूम करता है कि पेरेंटिंग, केयर गिविंग और बच्चों से जुड़ी सारी जिम्मेदारियां सिर्फ मां की ही होती हैं. So while the mother gets 26 weeks paid leave, the father gets a minimum of 2 days and a maximum of only 2 weeks. While the mother is forced to put her career on hold to bring up the baby for 6 months, the man can just get back to work immediately. In fact, Jobs for Her का survey कहता है that around 14% of Indian companies, including large enterprises, SMEs and startups, don't have any paternity leave policies in the first place. The survey also found that 31% of SMEs and startups offer paternity leave, while 57% of large enterprises provide paternity leave of 2 weeks or more. When these women do get back to work, फिर क्या होता है? तब problems शुरू होती हैं. Loss of opportunities, loss of promotions, late promotions, lack of support and empathy. Their male counterparts gallop ahead and they start to see pay gaps that push them so far back, recovery seems insurmountable. और ऐसा भी नहीं होता कि मां बनने की जिम्मेदारी 6 महीनों के बाद खत्म हो जाती है. Men look at maternity leaves as a discriminating benefit, and in the same breath, they also judge other men who would want to spend time with their children and prioritize their role as fathers. Here begins the real struggle, where women start to fall off the labor force. उन्हें वो support, वो facilities नहीं मिलती हैं कि वो mothering और working साथ साथ कर सकें. Working mothers तो आपने नाम सुना है, कभी आपने working fathers सुना है? तो अब क्या किया जाए? There are solutions that can be examined. Scandinavian countries have successfully adopted gender-neutral leave models. यहाँ शुरू से ही महिला और पुरुष पेरेंटिंग लीव बराबरी की जिम्मेदारी से लेते हैं और इसलिए वो दोनों ही इक्वल पेरेंट्स बन पाते हैं. Companies need to create funds to support their women, set up insurance policies. Governments need to not just incentivize organizations but also monetarily support SMEs instead of putting the entire onus of the financial burden on just the employers. According to a 2014 ILO report on maternity laws and practices around the world, 58% of all countries provide maternity leave funded through Social Security, and a further 16% countries fund the same through a mixed model, where costs are shared jointly by the individual employer and the state. लेकिन लीडरशिप लेवल पर भी माइंडसेट चेंज की जरूरत है। अगर आप अपनी फीमेल वर्कफोर्स को एक लायबिलिटी के तौर पर देखेंगे तो ये सिनेरियो कभी नहीं बदलेगा। अगर आप अपने मेल एम्प्लॉइज को एज अ प्राइमरी पेरेंट नहीं देखेंगे तो ये सिनेरियो कभी नहीं बदलेगा। और अगर आप ये सोचेंगे कि महिलाओं को हायर ना करना ही इस प्रॉब्लम का सलूशन है तो ये सिनेरियो कभी नहीं बदलेगा।